Well, some of the things I do, I'm clip farming too.
The Wild One's power is mine! The beginning is mine! So long as you know me.
Let's freaking go! Ritual Castle Crit Spark, baby. Castle Crit, let's go.
We that dream, we in nightmare, we that are one. Fate relies truth. Infinite pursuit. We that fail. Your affliction upon her will soon be erased. Concede to fate.
There we go, Uber Arbiter, baby. That's how it's done. That's how it's done. This build is fabulous. Well, hello there, everybody. It's your boy, Fluffy Peanuts. How's everybody doing today, Peanut Gang? Okay, if you ain't a subscriber already, go ahead, hit that subscribe button, alright, and hit that like, and make sure you comment down below to see and tell me what you like about this build, and also if you have any questions and what builds are you guys running. Alright, so this right here, this video is going to be about my cast on crit. It's a little build guide here to tell you how to do it, what you need to do, okay, to get your stuff to procking. I know when I've been live streaming lately, everybody on TikTok, everybody on YouTube, and I'm live streaming on both platforms, by the way, and everybody always asks me, hey man, how do you get your stuff to proc all the time? Okay, so we're going to get into that as well. So I'm going to sit here and I'm going to show you guys my build right here, and we're going to walk right through it, just that way we can get you guys set up and ready to do some massive damage with the Bloodmage. Okay, so with that being said, let's get right into it, guys. Alrighty, as usual, first things first, what we're gonna do, we're gonna go over the skills, okay? Alrighty, right here's our skills that we're gonna be using. We got mana remnants, life remnants, okay? Because we are, you know, a blood mage, so we automatically get that skill on our passive tree, okay? So right here, what we're gonna be doing, we're gonna go ahead and put Cartul's Rejuvenation, whatever that means. Okay, we pronounce that. Then we're going to go cool-headed, okay, to get our ignite duration going on. We're going to do harmonic remnants 2 and remnants potency 1. All right, those are very important. Now our spark, okay, this is a plus 21 skill gem with a 23% quality. Okay, now you don't, obviously do not need to do that. You can do just 20%, but I'm telling you right now, the extra 3% makes a big difference. Okay, so with that being said, it is going to be pricey. All right, this build is pretty pricey so far, but just to let you know, you not necessarily have to go with these special, unique support gems that I got inside of these for these skills. Okay, so with that being said, I do on Mobilytics have a different version of Cast on Crit for the Bloodmage. All right, it's not as expensive, but it does get the job done. All right, so make sure you guys check that out. It'll be in the description of this video. Okay, then you'll be able to see all my builds as well. All right, but we're gonna go over the expensive one right here that I got going on. So we're gonna do Radiance. All right, for lightning damage, switches over to Chaos. Okay, gives us our extra shock. and also give us some more DPS. We're going to do projectile acceleration to get the sparks flowing pretty fast, because that's what we want. The slower it are, the easier we're to die. Okay, so and we're also going to do forking, which you guys can put a different skill in here if you will desire to do so. But forking, what it does, it just spreads out our spark even wider and longer range. Okay, some may argue, well, you don't really need to do that because it's spark anyways. Personal preference, do as you will. I put fork in here. Okay, then we're going to do Zenith 2 to give us some more increased DPS output than Diala's desire. I think these are still like 22 div of this recording, which is, it's a pretty phenomenal item to have, because it also, as it gives us +1 to our level to our skills and the supported, skill that we have. So supported skill gems, and it also gives us 10% quality as well for the supported skills. Okay, so right now we are doing 231,000 DPS with Spark. Okay, and we also are at 100% crit with 461 plus 2 damage bonus. Okay, now we're going over to our castle and critical. All right, we are literally only using four skills here. Okay, so all this build needs to take, you can do every content with it. All right, we're doing our castle and critical, which is awesome. This one was pretty expensive. This skill, with it being +21 to +21 level, right? So, and also that it is also quality to 23% as well. Okay. All right, so we're going to do our castle crit. Our main thing about this build, and we're using Comet. We also got this one as +21 with 23% as well for quality. Then we're going to use Living Bomb as well. So this one's just a regular old 20 gem. I didn't even go 21 with it, which we can. Not necessary. This gives us an increased DPS of fire damage as well, which is also gives us our what is that called? It also gives us our fire infusion. Okay, because if you look at Comet, all right, and we're going to go over here and look at the deets on this. All right, I'm doing 149,000 DPS right there, but it also allows fire infusion. So with fire infusion, we get a more DPS, right? 376,000. So that's why we want Living Bomb in there. So it gives us that fire infusion. Obviously, you can get fire infusion in any other way, right? Or like lay down wall of fire or whatever if you want to. But that requires more than one button. This build right here is a 1-button build, by the way. Then we're going to be doing Balance Energy 2. Obviously, that is a gimme every time you're doing Castle Crit. That is always a must, because that way it increases the amount of energy that we're getting, okay, to get that crit to proc, right? Castle Crit. Then we're going to do Spell Cascade. A lot of people put this in there. A lot of people don't. You don't have to. This what it does. It splits it into 3 more volleys, right? So we get 3 packs of comets raining down. All right, it does lower our DPS a little bit for our comet, but we're also getting 3 of them, so it takes away 2, like 20k, but we're getting 3, so at 120 or 140,000 DPS per comet. Okay, for one is probably about like maybe a little bit more, like 180. So basically, we're getting 3 comets doing 140,000 DPS. Okay, so keep that in mind. Technically, we're getting more DPS. Then we're going to do with the most expensive freaking unique jewel that I have ever witnessed. Support gem, I should mean, is this bad boy right here. What this does, it inverts the elemental resistance to the monsters that we're hitting. So basically, it makes them have minus elemental. So we're even able to kill them even faster with the negative of elemental damage, because we are fire, and we're also lightning, and we're also freeze as well. These guys will freeze even quicker because their elemental resist towards free will be in the negative. That's why this unique skill gem is so expensive. It is very powerful. All right, now we're going to be doing Arctic armor for a little bit more defense. Only went with a level 19 on here. Obviously, you can go higher than that if you want. You can max it out. It don't matter. You can do +21. But we're going in there with Zenith 2, get that extra DPS on top of the armor when they hit us. Okay, it'll be pretty much like freezing them instantly. You'll notice that. And it will also proc our cast on crit on top of that as well. So, and our support skill we got in here is Deep Freeze, get that duration of the freeze going on. Then we got Cold Master to get our +1 on there as well. The supported skills penetrate 30% cold resistant, which is also nice. So we're guaranteed if they hit us, they're going to get frozen. Then we're going to also put another unique in here, which is a little bit more on the pricey side as well. Like I said, you don't have to do this. All right, I do have another build attached to my mobilytics, okay, underneath the Bloodmage. You'll see it. I labeled it. Okay, so with that being said, we got tools stillness in here. Chaos damage from hits from supported skills also contributes to freeze buildup. Supported skills of 40% of cold damage as extra chaos damage. Okay, so we're getting that chaos. Chaos for a reason why you see a lot of people converting to chaos, because chaos on the monsters is a lot more heavier DPS than it is fire. Okay, so yeah, we're doing elemental weakness just for fun. Why not have it, right? Because everybody has elemental weakness. To lower that weakness even farther, okay, with that reverse negative to elemental resistance from raketas. All right, I hardly ever use this. This is just a backup. If I feel like being froggy, just using it just to throw it down. Okay, then we're going to do heightened curse. Okay, 20%, 5% increased magnitude. Then we got magnetic area of effect to increase that elemental marker on the ground that you guys will be seeing all the time. It makes it even bigger just in case the enemy moves out of it. Okay, then supported skills and 40% less cost for our mana, which is also nice. And we're going to do exposure applied to supported skills as 20% increase in fact. So we're getting 20% magnitude of the elemental weakness as well. So with that being said, it's only 4 socket and we got level 37. Okay, that's it. That's all there is for our skills right there, guys. That's it. That's all we're gonna use it. Just 4 of them. Okay, 1 button build. Boom. You know, that's it. Now let's go over to our gear here. All right, our gear over here is very straightforward, and yes, it's expensive. If everybody knows what this armor piece is, it is pretty freaking pricey. All right, so let's get into our wand here. Our wand here, obviously, we want +5 to all lightning scales. We want lightning damage as extra damage as a gain, and we want increased spell damage, obviously. 100% is preferred and above. Then we definitely want critical damage. Now, for the one, if you don't have critical, if you don't mind having a lower critical spell damage, but you do not have 100% crit chance on your build, you want to use you want to use critical hit chance instead of critical spell damage for your wand. Okay, just to make sure you get that 100%. Now, everybody's arguing, well, do we really need 100%? Well, you do. You want it to sit there and proc every time. Okay, when you're throwing down spark. Okay, but I will say you can probably do 90, anywhere between 90 to 100% and be just fine. Okay, for the procking, it's going to proc 9 out of 10 of the times, right? So we also want cast speed as well for extra damage and cold as well. Okay, or you can do fire as well. Okay, all right. So basically, you want a massive, really good +5 skills is mandatory. Maybe critical hit chance as well is mandatory, and all your DPS modifiers. Okay, cast speed is also a DPS modifier, so make sure you keep that in mind as well. So we're also going to go over here to our rings. Our rings are basically, you can put rarity, resistant mods. Okay, if you need attributes, put them on there. But there's 2 mods that you definitely want on this, and that is lightning increased damage, not flat damage, not the 1 to 25, not the 1 to 66. You want lightning increased damage, not flat damage. Flat damage does not do anything for our build because we are a spellcaster. Those are mainly for your martial weapons types like spear, hammer, or what's the other one? The spear. What is the other one everybody uses? The staff for the monks. Okay, that's what flat damage is meant for. Okay, but increased lightning damage does both. It does also for our martial weapons, but also for wand specifically, or staff. So we want increased lightning damage, okay, as our DPS, and increased cast speed as well for our DPS. Then everything after that, do your resistances, your attributes if you need them. All right, you want both your range to be exactly like this: cast speed, lightning damage, then defense. All right, unless you want to add rarity on it, then we got a little bit of rarity on this one, obviously. Then we're gonna go over here to our Vertex Tribal Mask. Okay, we want +4 to skills, to all skills. That's the only reason why we're really using this thing right here, and it gives us good critical hit chance. All right, this is the main thing you want. Okay, now I'm gonna be putting notes inside the mobilytics. You guys need to make sure you go and you look at those notes that are on the mobilytics for the gear side of it, because there is specific modifiers you need to take off. Okay, there's specific modifiers that needs to be removed off of your equipment to make this build work. Okay, with these gear. Now obviously you don't need these pieces. The main thing I would say you'll want will be the belt. Okay, for sure. Other than that, maybe the helmet, because it's the only helmet that you can get +4 to all spell skills. I mean, all skills in general. All right. So, with that being said, right here, get at least a +4. You can do a +3 or a +2. All right. If you're going to do a +2, then don't bother wasting the div on getting this, because you can get +2 easily on helmets already. So, I would do at least a +3 or +4. +4 preferred. Okay. Obviously, get that more DPS in. All right, then we're going to go over here to our amulet. We want to allocate fast metabolism. Okay, that's going to help us leech. It's going to help us regenerate more health as we're hitting. Okay, then we're going to go with, okay, at least +3 to all spell skills. You want increased damage as well. You definitely, this is where we're getting our spirit, because we want a spirit anywhere above 45 and above for your spirit on your amulet, because we need it to activate our castle critical and also our armor. Arctic armor. Okay, that's all we need. Just one little thing with spell on it. All right. So with that being said, then we want to make sure it has critical hit chance. I would go with spell damage, obviously, or energy shield for global defenses. But you definitely want your critical hit chance on there, and your spell skills and spirit and damage. That's what I recommend. Those 4 mods right there's what you're absolutely guaranteed you're going to want. Then the rest of them just do for defense. Make sure you do it metabolism for the anoint. All right, then we're going to go over here to the focus. I love the focus. I know you guys be probably seeing a lot of builds out here that have just a staff to get to more DPS, but I like the focus because that's where we're going to get our defense from and some more damage as well. Okay, personally, I'd rather do focus in one instead of staff. All right, because staff takes up both slots, meaning that they take up the shield spot and also the weapon spot. Okay, so you're getting a lot of massive DPS, but you're losing a lot of defense. Okay, so I always go with high energy shield on my focuses, and I go to +2 all spell skills, and I do also do a critical hit chance for spells as well. This one has lightning resistance on it because I needed some lightning. But you definitely want +2 all spell skills at least, and also critical hit chance for spells as high as you can find. So that way it will help us on our passive tree to get that 100% crit chance. And we don't have to waste passive nodes on others. Okay. So we're going to go down to your boots right here. They're very basic boots. I just got 35% movement speed. I went with energy shield, and I added some rarity on it, and I just went defense on it. Pretty much is what all I did. This is all you need to do. Pretty cheap. This is probably one of the cheapest things for this build as of right now. It's going to be your boots, because you just want 35% movement speed, okay? And just defense modifiers, add rarity on it. That's what I did. Okay, now we're going to go over here to our gloves. These gloves are very, very important. This is how we get our instant regeneration, okay, is from these gloves right here. These are very important. I would recommend try to get a dual socket, so that way we can leech from critical hits instantly. So, and also I would recommend getting a 50% critical hit chance one as well, so that way it's much easier to get to that 100% that we're going to be wanting, right? So with the gloves here, you definitely want them because you want to get about that 50% in critical hit chance. That's what I would do. That's the max on these gloves. And we also need it because it has the leech from critical hits is instant. Okay. All right, now we're going to go over here to our belt. Our belt's going to be expensive. I have seen them on there for 100. Okay, for 100 div. These are the ones you want, because this right here, you got to pay attention to the modifiers, okay? All right, because you need to remove the modifier on it for the energy shield. All right, I'm going to show you what I'm talking about right here. All right, let's pull this up. I'm going to bring this out here for you guys. This modifier right here, okay, you need it to be removed. That's why we got it corrupted. That's why you don't see this modifier on here. You lose 4.8% of maximum energy shield per second. You don't want that modifier on there. I already posted this on the Mobilytics and put this in here specifically, so that way if you guys forget, you can always go and reference it. All right, you want access life recovery from leech applied to energy shield staying right there, okay? So that means, well, if you notice in the passage, if we overflow on our leeching, right, sometimes, I mean, it's built to be just to stop, right? But to stop and overflow for health, but this will also overflow over to our energy shield, okay, to help, you know, recuperate our energy shield as well, on top of the whole leeching for our life. So there's two birds with one stone. That's why these things are so expensive, and when they don't have the maximum energy shield per second on it. This is very important. You want that modifier removed off of here, okay? The most beautiful thing about this is that excess life recovery from leeching is applied to our energy shield to keep us alive longer. That is very important. Make sure, I cannot stress that enough. All right. I think I've seen them going for like 100 div. All right, but get them while you can. Then we're gonna go over here to our armor. All right, try to get one. All the modifiers on here is okay. I would try to get as one as much energy shield as possible. This is going to be your most expensive item on this build, besides your wand, if you want to go mid-max. But this right here is the most expensive thing on your build. You want energy shield, as much energy shield as you possibly can. And you're wondering why? Why can't I just do a regular chest piece? I mean, you can if you want, but this is max tier. This is what we're going over, right? Because this thing's very unique. The skills from corrupted gems have 50% of mana cost converted to life cost. Okay, so this is why this thing is so expensive, and we get 6 sockets. Okay, now read that again. That bottom line: skills from corrupted gems have 50% of mana cost converted to life cost. This is what it's talking about. Okay. Well, these are all corrupted at level 21. So all of our mana costs on this is converted to our life cost instead of our mana. This is how we keep it, our mana flowing constantly, right? And plus with this little flask right here, okay, I think this is a new one that's been put in this season. All right, it automatically recovers 62 mana every 2 seconds. You cannot use it to fill up your mana if you drain down. If you notice, if you put this on, you spam your button for your mana flask, that ain't gonna do nothing, because this is consistent, constantly recovering mana. All right, so yeah, with that you'll never run out of mana at all with this piece right here on your chest and this. Now obviously, to counteract mana loss, I know I had somebody the other day to come in there and talk to me on TikTok. Hey man, how are you not running out of mana? How do you do it? Okay, and that's how we did it right there. But also, obviously, you can get a skill and put a support gem and put it on your skill, which is called Life Tap, which converts all mana cost to life. You can also do that as well, but you also lose a support skill. I mean, a support gem slot, right? So, which is you can do it. Either way. All right. So with that being said, okay, I'm going to show you why this thing's expensive. I know it's a normal one. What's this thing called? What's he here? Artsy Splendor. Okay, I want to show you why this thing is so expensive, and it is very top tier. And it's expensive as hell. Look at this. Okay, 1 divine. Now let me click on this energy shield, because it can go up to, it's a unique chest piece that has 6 slots that can go all the way up to 1500 energy shield, bro. As you can tell right here, look at that mirror, 700 divine, 3 divine, 3 divine, 0 divine, Not 3 divine, but 3 mirror, 3 mirror, 3 mirror. Like, this thing is crazy, bro. Okay, crazy. But you want to make sure you keep this on. The skills for corrupted gems have 50% mana cost converted to life cost. Okay, you want to make sure this stays on there. This is very important. Okay. This is the skill for skills from corrupted gems have 50% of mana cost converted to life cost. You want that modifier to stay on there. All right. Yep. That's why it's so expensive. Ridiculous. But, well, if you want to, like, I only search for 500, so I'm going to put right here, energy shield max is 500. All right. Then we're going to click on that. There we go. 320 div. 700. The cheapest one is 320. But it doesn't have the modifier on it that we want. So 500. Crazy. Crazy. All right, now let's look at our skill tree. Let's see here. Our skill tree, our ascendancy is going to be Bloodmage. Obviously, then we're going to go far right. Okay, we want to gain additional maximum life equal to the 100% of item, energy, shield, or on equipped body armor. So if we were to get our maxed out, okay, obviously I got a low tier in because mine's only 486 energy shield armor piece because I am not wasting 700 divines or grinding for that. Maybe if I'm bored I will. But yeah, additional maximum life equal to 100% of the item, energy, shield on equipped body armor. That's why it's very important to get as high as you want. Obviously, you don't have to go with this body armor. What you could do is just get a regular body armor that has a high energy shield on it. That's all you have to do. Then we're going to go over here to spell damage, leeches life. Obviously, that's a gimme. That's a very, you know, common cast on crit build for Bloodmage. All right, base critical hit chance for spells, 15%. Okay, then we're going to go up on our passive. There's a lot of things we need to note on here. Okay, we want these two. This is a must for your build to work correctly as well. You're going to want these skills right here, at least when you're starting out, and try to get to it as quick as you can. Okay, 15% increased life cost of skills, 40% increased spell damage with spells that cost life. Okay, so the higher we go and we converted for cost of life, right, when we do spells or items or anything like that, they increase that amount. Okay, we get an increased 40% damage. All right, so, and we're also going to regenerate 25% on life, and we're going to spells 25% of spell mana cost converted to life cost as well. So that's how we're maintaining our mana as well, this skill right here. Then the rest of them is going to be all damage mods. I went up here as well for increased energy shield. All right, they try to get this up higher for a little bit defenses. I asked we can still get one popped, just like any game. I mean, any map you go into, dude. We're still gonna have that high chance of getting one hit, obviously. Okay. But yeah, we're gonna go and just basically get crit nodes, damage multipliers, like critical damage. Increase, okay, spell damage, projectile skills, duration effect. We're just hitting the lightning skills up here as well. Okay, this is very common stuff. Okay, there's not really anything to note on here. Just follow the passage tree. Okay, on the analytics that I have on this, we're not using any time loss jewels or anything like that. I know that you can if you want. All right, to get maximum DPS, but these things are starting to get expensive. I'm only a month into the league and we got 3 months to go. It's crazy. But our skill gems, all right, nice skill gems, but our jewels here, we're going to want 15% crit chance and 15% critical hit chance for spells. This is a must. This will also help us get that 100% crit chance. Okay. So make sure you at least have those two modifiers, critical hit chance and critical hit chance for spells, obviously, and you're going to want increased energy shield as well. And of course, you know, you're seeing it right here. I don't have damage modifiers or increased energy shield. I only got 2 jewels like that, but I just made sure that I have 15% for critical hit chance for spells and just a flat critical hit chance. Those are like 20 div. Okay, those are that. I went to the cheap route. Okay, because this jewel right here was 150 div to 200. All right, this is the ideal what you want. 20% to maximum energy shield, 15 critical hit chance, 15 critical hit chance as well for spells, and spell damage increase or elemental spell damage increase. Both of those will work. Okay, and I had to slam this with divines to get this to go to where I needed it to go. Okay, well, I'll wait till like an extra 90 days sitting there slamming this trying to get perfect rolls. Alright, so that's basically what you want when it comes for your jewels. This is the ideal jewel that you want. Increase energy shield, 15 across the board for flat critical hit chance and critical hit chance for spells, and you want spell damage. Alright, that's the perfect jewel that you can get. Alrighty, alright, that is pretty much it about this build. And yeah, as you guys saw in the demonstrations in the, you know, before the video started, everything was cracking like and destroying. It does do arbiter. It does do all the content that you that it has to provide. Obviously, there's times where you're doing arbiter, you're not getting the right mechanic to pop up. That's very common for any build. Okay, so and delirium and all that, you can do it. Pretty easy, pretty self-explanatory. And I hope you guys enjoyed this this build guide, and make sure you hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell icon so that way you get notified every time when I go live right here on YouTube and when I post a new video or shorts as well. And so, with that being said, I do got a Discord and everything. All my social medias are linked into the description of this video. Okay, and I hope to see you there in the live stream, guys. I hope this guy helps out for you. Make sure you check out the mobile lytics, okay? And there's 2 different builds there. All right, one's not as expensive as the other one. So, with that being said, guys, I'll catch you all later, man. Hashtag Peter Game Baby all day, every day. Doses.